Good morning. Good morning. I have the record button set. I believe I'm on the right stream today. That's a plus. And I'm bringing it to you from what I like to call SoCo, South County, St. Louis, Missouri, in the 63123 zip code. We're here in the 314 area code. You'll see things referenced to the 314. When I was in Detroit, it was, I believe, 313, if I remember right. And we're adding a new zip code now, or not, a new area code here in St. Louis. It's going to be like 578 or something. I don't know. But if you're from the 314, you're a big deal, not 636. Unless you have a number from 636, then you're a big deal. I mean, it's just however you want to feel important. Definitely use area code as the basis for that feeling. Makes total sense. How are you? Lots of things to discuss today. The mind was just going all over the place. So am I going to get to everything real estate today? I don't know. I might not. And then I might get to it really early. We don't know. We just don't know. As you've seen, we can have a very boring live stream, or we can have a very good one. Right now, I have no idea what's going to happen. Have I done anything to make the start of the program better? Well, to be honest with you, I had a bunch of chores in a row and tasks, and I ran over here, and I was running late, and so I just pressed the button, and honestly, I've got things that I need to do in the background. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do them while I'm talking. Maybe I'll just have to be quiet and do them and act like, because I mean, one of the things, I don't even have the right, I can't pull up a screen right now because I don't have it set up. I have lots of, I thought, fascinating information to talk about, but I don't have it set up in the thing. And if it right now, I don't have the links on my page. And if I like to have sources, okay? I like to have sources for two reasons. I don't know the second reason off the top of my head. The first reason is I like you to know from what point of view I'm speaking, okay? Because as we've seen with the Ukraine thing, let's just call it a war. Is that fair? As we've seen with the Ukraine war, information is a weapon. It's a weapon. And I think it also provides, here we go, here's the second part. I think it provides a foundation from which we can come to the table and at least have something to discuss. So have you ever, and here's my example, have you ever been sitting at the dinner table and like your kid says, "Hey, what do you think about Ukraine?" I say that because I have. And it's bizarre because they're not getting their news, quote unquote. Wait a minute. It's always backwards, and it's hard for me to news. They're not getting their news from the same sources that you are. I won't say reliable sources because there's an ironic television news program named that. But we have no basis from which to discuss things. So, if something on TikTok is shown, I've been on TikTok, but I don't know everything, and so it's kind of hard to have a basis for discussion. And I think that's missing a lot of times. I don't know. Like we talk about like right wing or left wing talking points. Well, I need to know what the talking points are ahead of time. So when I see them doing that, I'll know what what we're talking about. Like you have to have some basis from which to pull from. And that's why I think that, and not as a shot at public education, but education in general, used to be very foundational approach. Okay, in my opinion, from what I've read, and we've moved away from this idea of a foundation, and I don't know that it's a solid concept. I don't know. I mean, if you're reading like Locke, Thoreau, if you're reading like those people, any of the philosophers in France. And I mean, come on. Now you're dealing, and I mean, that's your basis from which you operate. And now, like, your basis is, TikTok, Instagram. It's not, I don't think it's good. I don't think that's good. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it. Don't make fun of me. Okay. I'm a boomer. Okay. So if I go here and I go here, I'm going to do this. Now, can you tell what I'm doing? You probably can't tell what I'm doing, but is it too boring? Because you can watch me doing this and you're like, I don't need to see this. I only have like a little bit of work to do. Let me do my work, huh? Don't be mad at me. Not good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You say, well, John, you should have done this before. If you knew what was going on before I came to the live stream, you would not say that. And you could say, John, why don't you look up this stuff and why don't you have it all set up the night before? I've thought about that. But you know what? There's something about doing it live, right? There's something about the information just hits differently. I was talking to my colleague Jan yesterday about at least about my podcast. And I said, it's weird. I can find a topic that that's interesting. Okay. But the further I go back, good. It looks like I got it in order. The further I go back in time, the less relevant something seems. Even if it's a newsworthy item. So let's think about something. Let's say interest rates in July. Me doing an episode on the podcast about interest rates in July here in March, not relevant, not interesting. But I've also noticed like human interest stories from the past are not necessarily that interesting now. There's something about as it's happening. For instance, my podcast yesterday was about a man who was attacked by a neighbor dog once, and he was bitten and filed a police report. The dog came at him again, and he shot the dog a couple months later. And everyone was like, you shot a dog, you're a terrible person, and you should burn. And he's like, well, I'm afraid for my life in my own backyard, and I carry a gun just because I'm worried that this thing's going to attack me again. I have trauma, and I'm not happy that I had to shoot the dog, and I would have preferred not to shoot the dog. Now, there could be more, like that's where the story was. The story ends up being, well, he doesn't get charged, because, I mean, really, So, should you charge somebody who was trying to defend themselves against getting killed by a dog? So, my thought there is it could continue. There's a story that I did on a live stream maybe a couple days ago about Hank the Tank, the black bear that had been terrorizing neighborhoods. And I don't want to kill the bear. Okay, but it turns out now that they think there's 3 bears that look similar to Hank, and it's not just Hank. So the story changes. And so what I'm saying is if I do something from the past on a podcast, say that 3 times fast, past on a podcast, past on a podcast, past on a podcast. If I do it and there's new information, what ends up happening is, well, what I'm concerned about, let's be honest, there's no one watching. What I'm concerned about is, let's say I do a story and then they say, well, this is not true. It's changed. And it's like, well, at the time it was true. And that's one of my concerns with platforms like Twitter, in the sense, like, if you report something that isn't true, and you're not a blue check, okay, you're just a normal person, and you retweet something that's not true or turns out to be a terrible thing, do you delete the tweet? Like they say, like deleting the tweet is like, not good and hurts your street cred. I don't know. Here's what I know about Twitter. Like, I'm lazy and I don't want to go look at a tweet that I did a year and a half ago and delete it. Like, that would take way too much time. And so on that issue, you can see where I'm at. I just can't. I'm not going to go back and re-edit a video that I did in July because the information's changed. At the time, it was accurate. You know, no, I do my best not to throw bombs all over the place like some people. I mean, I try. I try to fit within this box that's not offensive or anything like that. I wanted to go over Twitter for a second though, and oh boy, I have to do one more thing. Let me do one more thing here. I wanted to talk about something that I saw that that I'm not understanding on Twitter. Okay. Let's look at this for a second. Okay, here's what I'm trying to understand on Twitter, and you can help me. Even if it's not today, you can help me down the road. Okay. I'm going to go in the context of what I saw. So I was not paying too much attention to the Curtis Reeves trial. I thought he was going to be guilty because I didn't think you could shoot someone in a movie theater. Okay, now, did I read about it? Did I tell you about it? I don't know. This old man, he was old. He got attacked in a movie theater, but they said he didn't get attacked. They said that the press and the prosecutor said that he had shot someone after they threw his popcorn at him. He testified that actually the phone had been thrown at him, and he thought he was in danger. And, you know, if you're like 70 years old and some 40-year-old punk ass is coming at you, you probably are afraid for your life. Reasonably. I'm afraid for my life when I have to, you know, stand up against like 20-year-olds. I mean, I'm really not in good shape, and I don't really want to be standing up in front of anyone, to be honest. Not smart. But anyway, he is found innocent or acquitted of the charges. Okay? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Please don't at me. But anyway, he's found innocent. And I guess that's fair to say. And then the lawyer, Nick Rekieta, who's commenting on the trial itself, put a tweet out, something along the effect that, it's concerning that other quote unquote like legal scholars or legal commentators got this one so wrong. And it was absolutely correct based on the evidence presented. I'm paraphrasing. It was not that way. That tweet was not sent that way. But what I wanted to go over was the response. It was some guy writes, "So it's okay to murder someone in a movie theater." And that's what I see a lot on Twitter is this. It's like, no, does anybody, it's not okay to murder someone under any circumstance. Okay. Is there a justifiable homicide or I don't know about that. That's words that are legal. I don't understand that. But is there a right to self-defense? In some states, apparently, yes. I don't know. I don't know all the particulars about this stuff. But what I'm saying is you can feel bad. You can feel empathy that someone lost their life. Some family member has lost their husband, lost their father, lost their, you can have empathy for the victim. Okay. And still have some sort of innocence. Like, I'm going to try and do this and it's going to come out terribly because I'm not an attorney. But let's say you're walking down the street, okay? And let's say that the pavement is perfect. And you trip over your own shoes and you die. You fall and you hit your head and you die. And there's no ambulance that came because no one saw you. And you just literally died. Okay, and that's bad. Okay. But then your family goes and sues the street manufacturer, okay, and says your product was defective. Our person died. Okay, we've already established just in the story that the street was it was the most beautiful street that's ever been created. Okay, there's no way that in the real world, in my opinion, and maybe in the legal world, which is not necessarily in the real world, but you cannot blame the street manufacturer for this particular incident. This was an accident, and it was sad. Okay, when the street company is hauled into court and has to defend themselves, okay, what's off the table for them to defend themselves? They're looking at a significant fine of some type, something that might injure their business. Are they going to come at the family pretty hard? Yes. Yes. Does that mean they don't feel empathy for the person who died? No. No, and that's what I'm having trouble with in our world today. Is people want to take something like the war in Ukraine, and they want to say, if you side with, first of all, they want you to side with someone so that they can wrap and attach feelings, motivations to you to make you the bad guy. I don't know. I don't want to say it's the straw man argument because I haven't really been spending a lot of time on like what I would say discourse. I don't really want to win all of my arguments right now. It's not like I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like I've moved past that. Like every day I put on a show where I show you how wrong I am about many different things or how much I don't know. Today's going to be a perfect example of things I don't know anything about. Okay. Now I do have some basis for knowledge as a residential real estate agent or a real estate broker. I understand that industry pretty well. And I understand, I can do commercial leases. I can do things like that. We can talk about these things. But for the most part, I mean, we're going to talk about, I believe, anime today. I think it's anime. I don't know. I don't even know what it's called. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a sister fight. Well, I don't have a sister. I'm an only child. I have no idea what's going to happen. So, myself, the desire to be right isn't central to be right in an argument isn't central to my being. And I don't know if that's the case for a lot of people. Maybe if I were younger, I would care about being right about all my arguments. Like I would always win every argument, but I don't really expect to now. And what I've been watching online is a very fascinating tweet battle between Andrew Branca, who's the law of self-defense, and Michael Malice. They both grew up in New York. I don't know if they know that, or they both lived in New York. Okay, so they have this attitude, and the one will just rip on the other one for being old, and then the other one will come back and just rip on the other one for being anything that they want to. And there's no like, it's just I don't know how to explain. It's very bizarre. There's no like, okay, there's a lot of that. Like, all right, I'm old. You got me. Okay, you're a clown. And then there's, oh, okay, I'm a clown. You got me. There's a way they're doing it that's fascinating. That seems like it's unique to the culture of where they spent much of their time. All that to say is, I don't like the argument of, wrapping a bunch of things up and saying you're this. So, for instance, for Ukraine and Russia, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. I know that there's a lot of misinformation. And when I say misinformation, I don't mean like that weird sort of misinformation that politicians use to say stuff like that they don't like. Politicians co-opt words, and then it's like, it doesn't mean the same thing anymore. So I have to go back and explain it. So the misinformation I'm seeing is like, we'll get a news report or we'll get some sort of tweet or something, and it's not accurate. Okay. There's no need for like these. By the way, if you're watching fact checkers and you believe them, you really need to consider consider that whole industry. Like that I know is misinformation, fact checkers. And polling, if you believe polling, that those two places, like it's never going to be right. Okay. Anyway, I just think, like, watch. Well, here's the thing. I don't want people dying. At the end of the day, and you say, well, then it's obviously Russia is the bad guy here. Well, we're talking about dying right now. Russia feels in some way that they're going to lose people later or something. But I don't like death. I don't welcome death of anyone, anywhere. I do believe in this. If I ever get to my other live stream, which you know how it's going. I want to do the live stream at 10 p.m. St. Louis time. I literally went to bed last night at 9:30, like exhausted. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But anyway, I have a bias with employment. Like, I believe that you should work. Like your life should be built around you get up, you go to work, you do well, like you have a good day. You get paid for that, and you go and you take your family out to dinner, and you buy a house for your family, and you earn. There's this idea of earning something, right? There's this we're going to earn this. So when we talk about like these, like I believe it's in Yemen or Qatar where there's actually like slaves, people are not, they're working, but they're not earning. This is like against my ethos. It's against my being. Okay. Similarly, if you're a Russian army person or I don't know, what's it called? A Ukraine soldier. Okay. And you're out there and you get murdered. I mean, like murdered meaning death. You get killed. Okay. That's not like you were working and you were trying to feed your family. Okay. Or maybe you don't have a family. Maybe you're a loner, but you want to use your money to, I don't know, buy something. That's fine. But you're dead and you can't. So you've been denied this opportunity. Now, you say, what about when you're older? John, what about when you're older? How does that work? And I would say, like you get to look back on a life that you lived and you worked and it was admirable. But I'm just telling you what it is in my head. It's not necessarily right. Okay. So I don't want people dying. I don't want people denied the ability to live their lives as in, go to work. That's all. I don't think that, hopefully that's not too controversial. And I mean, I guess you could let's for a moment throw something at me. Hey, what about people that are disabled? I didn't really haven't thought through that much. I mean, as far as if they can find meaning in their lives, okay. If they're physically unable to do something, but yet they have meaning in their lives, they have some sort of, like moving forward, okay, or backward, but they're moving. There's some sort of moving. I think I'm okay with that. To be denied that ability though is hard for me to deal with. For anyone. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Oh, well, partially. Like you can not be happy with Russia for killing people, and you can not be happy with Ukraine for killing people. And does it matter who started it? Okay, Russia started it, but did they? Like, was Ukraine bombing their own independent territory? I don't know. That's what I read. Who won the? I mean, like, it just gets really, really cloudy. Let's. I'm going to go on other stuff, but let's do one thing here. let's assume that Ukraine is very corrupt. Okay. Let's assume that the United States is very corrupt. Let's assume that Russia is very corrupt. All right. Now, is there any country that isn't corrupt? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm going through my thoughts with you in real time. What I was thinking though is that it's best not to, like, there must be a way to compartmentalize corruption to where you're not being dragged into a world war. But if all the players are corrupt, I guess that's not possible. And maybe that's what's really happening. Let's see. Could you be corrupt in the domestic front and not the world front? I don't know. The United States is pretty bad right now. The level of corruption is pretty bad. I don't know if it's always been this bad, but it's significant. So, and I know Ukraine is not considered the most. Do you know we used to be able to bribe people in the United States? You'd be able to bribe companies and things of that nature, and then you could report it. You could expense it on your taxes. That's pretty slick. So, like, I need to, somewhere in the world, I need to bribe somebody, and I got like they need $1 million. So I'll just go ahead and give them $1 million, and then I can expense that on my tax return. Up until like the 1970s. Now I think you have to do it a little differently. I think you have to say you've gotten a service or something like that. I'm sure they've worked it out to where it's not line item bribe. But I'll tell you, it's fascinating. The world is a fascinating place. So I wanted to go over something that happened to me real estate wise. 27 minutes in, I got a call from someone, and they said, hey, someone so and so is going to call you, and they want to use you as their buyer's agent. And I was like, cool, man. This is great. I love new buyers. I love sellers. I love the challenge right now of finding something in the marketplace. I love I love it. I love listing stuff too. Sometimes I'm wrong on my listings. I say that, but now I won't call him. No, I mean, what I'm saying is sometimes it's hard to get the right price for a listing. And what I was saying more is it kind of takes, like, let's say today you want to sell your house. That price may be different than 10 months from now. It changes. Whereas on the buy side, everything's out there, and you need to find the best value for your client according to what they want. But anyway, I was all excited, and so someone called from a number that I didn't recognize, and I was doing stuff. And when you're like, I know, let's go over. So let's assume you get an internet lead. You're supposed to call that lead within 5 minutes. And like, there's statistics that show that every minute that you haven't called the person, the less chance you're actually going to get to work with that person. Which is why we've talked about, I don't have an inbound sales lead person to work with these people over time, and therefore that's why it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go with a bunch of lead generating programs where I would need that. So anyway, there's this number on there, and they leave a voicemail. So I always know when buyers are interested because they'll leave a voicemail. Anybody in business leaves a voicemail still. If you call me and don't leave a voicemail, I'm not very good at responding because it's like, I don't know. What do you want? I don't even know this number. Maybe it was a mistake. It's just not something I do. So anyway, I had to eat lunch. I think I had to take a shower. There were things I had to do. So I was doing all those. And what I was trying to do is get to a position where I could make the call, and I had like 10 minutes or something that I could spare to talk to the person, because this is our first introduction. This is the first time talking to each other. And so I did all those things, and I finally sat down at my computer, and I pressed the button to listen to it, the voicemail, and it was a DirecTV satellite sales automated call that left a message. Buyer didn't call. Didn't call yesterday. So I don't know now if they're just waiting or if they don't like me, or they said they were going to Google me. And I'm always kind of interested about that. It's like, what do I look like on Google? I mean, why don't you YouTube me? I'm there literally every day. All right, well that's that. So let's get into this. Now, I wanted to say, how do I put this? Elon Musk is the most amazing person for marketing that I've ever seen. And his use of Twitter is just, it's on another level. Now, do I agree with Elon? I don't want to throw Elon. I'm not, look, I don't, how do I put it? I should be allowed to be impressed by someone, even if I don't agree with them on 100% of the things. Like, you know, I'm not locked up with him on every single thing that he does in his personal life or his business life. I'm not locked in 100%. And here's one example. I don't particularly like electric cars. I like engines. I like fire, and I'm okay with that. I also don't care if other people want to buy electric cars. Go ahead. Go ahead. And if you want to buy an electric car, to me, Elon Musk, with his marketing alone, is the company that you would go with. I can't imagine you buying a Ford when you've got Elon Musk. I mean, just eating their lunch. You know? But what I wanted to say, I wanted to point out how great Elon Musk is at marketing. And then I want to point out how bad I must be at it. So here's some examples. So I'm going to do this here. Now, I'm on his page, I believe, on Twitter. And did I screw it up? Oh, yeah. So it refreshed, but I can get to it in time. I'm sorry that you have to see this. You know. Okay, so here it is. So I don't want to get into it. Like, so this guy here, we did the article. He's like in charge of digital something or other. He asked for these Starlink things. So Elon Musk like tweets it. He's like, we're going to send some, you know. The guy gets them like 2 days later. Okay. Here he's tweeted, this guy in Ukraine tweets Elon Musk out in the open, says, hey, we could really use these. And he sends them. And he says he's going to send them, and he delivers. So what is that? So my saying, or my slogan is Deerwood delivers. And what does that mean? That means we say we're going to do something, we do it. We deliver on our promises. Elon Musk demonstrated that he is delivering. Demonstrates it in like 2 days in a war zone area in the world. Now, that made headlines not because he delivered, but because he was even involved in it in the first place. The idea that you can go to Twitter and tweet a guy that happens to have this internet product, it's amazing. Okay, amazing in a couple. One, that he has this ability, like as far as he has this product that people wanted. Two, that you would tag him on Twitter, he would read it and respond. I mean, that's amazing. Okay, just amazing. But so that was that. Now, last night he gets himself into another one. Joe Biden. Now, I don't care if you're a Joe Biden fan. Great. If you're not, fine. That's not the point. But Ford is investing. The person that writes for Joe Biden is Ford is investing $11 billion to build electric vehicles, creating 11,000 jobs across the country. GM is making the largest investment in its history, $7 billion to build electric vehicles, including 4,000 jobs in Michigan. And then Elon Musk writes, Tesla has created over 50,000 U.S. jobs building electric vehicles and is investing more than double GM and Ford combined. FYI to the person controlling this Twitter, which is hilarious. Now, this tweet and this situation is amazing. Let me try to say it. I'm not very good, but let me try to put forth why it's amazing. One, Joe Biden will not acknowledge Tesla for some reason. Just refuses. I don't know if he assumes that Elon Musk is a Republican. I don't know what is going on, but Tesla has built an amazing company, a manufacturing company in the 2000s. Okay. And when GM and Ford ate it a while back and needed bailouts, Tesla didn't. Also, the jobs created, 50,000 US jobs compared to these companies. Okay. So I don't know what ratios are. I don't know anything about it. He's got 6,000 comments, 29,000 retweets, and 195,000 likes. Okay. Whereas Joe Biden's original tweet has only 33,000, let's just go with 3,000 retweets, 576 quote tweets, and 31,000 likes. Okay. So let's go back. I'll go base frame. In the past week, Elon Musk has managed to make himself newsworthy twice in two different industries. Okay. The internet stuff, the Starlink, is not any way related to the Tesla stuff. He's got an ability, an uncanny ability, and then he can be wrong. I feel like the one time, I don't know how to explain. I feel like when he said that he could take Tesla public or private for $423 a share, that was a bit, that was unseemly for me. But this case, I mean, just, and not, is he wrong? Is his position controversial? The whole platform of Joe Biden last night in the State of the Union speech is that we don't need to depend on oil and gas because we've got all this green energy, green policies. Okay. And it's going to cause all this employment. Everything's going to be great. Here's Elon Musk has an electric car, demonstrated it. It's produced around the world now. Built this company from nothing. Okay. And he's involved in 4 other companies, but just coming at the president with facts. And Elon Musk has managed to be in your conscience daily. And I'm not, and in different ways. I mean, this is the best marketer we have in the world right now. I don't even know that he's promoting himself so much. When I think of Elon Musk, I kind of think of Tesla. It's just amazing. I'm look. So I'm a real estate broker in South County. Okay, what am I going to tweet the president? What am I going to tweet the president? I wouldn't even fix housing. He's not going to fix housing. Nobody is. It's not it's amazing to me. No one's tweeting me and saying, "Hey, can you sell me a house in Uzbekistan?" Now I don't know where that is. I don't know if it's real. But no, I can't. And no one's doing it. See, that's what I'm like. The guy has got this set up perfect. And then what he does that I think is impressive is he doesn't screw it up. I've had some amazingly bad takes, I'm sure, in my life. But, part of me says the more bad takes you have in a row, you're better off because it kind of spreads out. Like if you have if you say a whole bunch of things, you're bound to say something stupid. But I mean, Elon Musk is just nailing it. I feel like he is the embodiment of the difference between corporate interests and the people. I mean, he uses the corporate interest. Don't get me wrong. I mean, all these investors in Tesla, you know, they have some desire to make money. They're not doing it, you know, because they really care about green energy or anything else. They want to make money. But compare that with Biden and talking about Michigan and the UAW and Ford and GM, companies that are really haven't really been innovative or done anything interesting in 20 years. I mean, they could have built an electric car in the 80s and just screwed it up. Who killed the electric cars? The GM one. So anyway, kudos to Elon Musk. Now, I don't even know. I don't know how we're going to do this today because I'm going to run out of time. We've got Google Trends, and I have 3 articles from Google Trends. We're 41 minutes in. I'm going to get to the listings. Let's go. Okay, so here, maybe we'll go slower. So this was in Google Trends. It says Moldova welcomes Ukrainian refugees, offers them jobs amid labor shortage. Okay, now I'm going to tell you that I don't know where that is. I don't know where Moldova is. I don't really know where Ukraine is. Tens of thousands of Ukrainian refugees fleeing for their lives have arrived in Moldova, a country on Ukraine's southern border, since Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered troops into Ukraine last week. It says, although Moldova is one of Europe's poorest countries, it has taken in at least 88,000 Ukrainians. Moldova, like Ukraine, was part of the former Soviet Union and is facing a labor shortage. More than 1 million Moldovans have left the country, of about 3.5 million since 1991. Now, Moldova, that country, is 3.5 million people. St. Louis has got about that in all of our area. You know, when you the city, the county, Jeffco, St. Charles County. So anyway, it says, according to the Canada's Globe and Mail newspaper, Ukrainians fleeing to Moldova are being offered jobs in a wide array of fields, including as teachers, construction workers, in the country's burgeoning information technology sector, and in the service industry. Now, I just read up here that it's one of the poorest countries. I have a freaking gnat that's flying around. One of Europe's poorest countries. Now, my understanding is Ukraine wasn't doing very well either. If these refugees decide to stay in Moldova, they're welcome. That would be a solution for them, and it would help Moldova because, in my opinion, the biggest challenge for Moldova in the next 2 or 3 years is it has no workers. He said the country's tech sector could easily offer 50,000 new jobs or 5,000 new jobs. Mihaila Lavrov, an office manager, Pukari. It's Moldova's oldest winery, said Moldovans can't ignore Ukrainians' hard times. The winery has allowed refugees to stay at its chateau and other hotel it rented for free. Only 2 other countries, Poland and Hungary, have taken in more Ukrainian refugees so far. My understanding is we're taking in refugees from there in St. Louis if they make it this far. It says, I'm just going through it. Still, some Ukrainians are concerned about staying in Moldova, saying it could be vulnerable to invasion too. Oh, look, there's a map. Oh, look, is that? I don't know what it is. I can't really read it. Romania's right there. Hungary's right there. Slovakia's right there. I don't see where Moldova is. It says Moldova is too close, according to the newspaper. We don't know what's going to happen, and Putin has said something about nuclear weapons, so we want to be as far as possible. It says images have recently emerged of Putin ally Belarus, President Alexander Lukashenko, standing in front of a map that appears to show Russia may intend to attempt an invasion. You can't see it because I didn't hit the button. Watch me. Watch me. There we go. Now you can see it. Images that may intend to attempt an invasion of Moldova in the city of Odessa, or via the city of Odessa, Ukraine. I don't know. Like, I'm going to try. Wish me luck here. Let's look and see if we can find Moldova on a map. Oh, this is where I am. I hope you don't. I'm not real worried about my security, but you know. Am I going to get the image? It may not. It may have a tough time getting it because of right now I'm streaming. Oh, look, we got it. Okay, so Moldova, Ukraine is right there. And then Romania is there. Belarus is up there. I guess Russia's right here. So they're like one country over. So Ukraine goes all the way to here, it says, and then so there's Slovakia, Hungary, and Poland, and Romania. There's been no talk about Romania and what it's been doing. Odessa is right there. They talked about that. But I'm just looking at the map here, and there's Serbia, but it doesn't show Bosnia. It shows, there it is. There's Bosnia, Serbia, and then Bosnia. And then Anissa's, my wife's parents live like over up in here somewhere. Anyway, not good. Nice to see Moldova, though, as a country. Learning that. Just checking the chat. Okay, next article. Britney Spears, feeling extremely betrayed by her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, will hold nothing back in new memoir. All right, so the sisters are fighting. And I don't know anything about this. It says speaker. I always thought, no, this is just me. What has Jamie Lynn Spears ever done other than being the sister of Britney Spears? I mean, I think she had like a job, but I don't think she got it because of any reason other than she was related to Britney Spears. But anyway, speaking her mind, Britney Spears plans to bear all in her upcoming book. An insider exclusively reveals in the new issue of Us Weekly. Now, this is just me. I don't believe that Britney Spears is going to write a book. I believe Britney Spears is going to sit down with someone else, and they're going to write the book, and she's going to talk. Britney would hold nothing back in the memoir, the source says of the toxic singer, who's now 40, noting that the pop star also intends on writing about her fraught relationship with her younger sister. Britney feels extremely betrayed by Jamie Lynn, as she has expressed publicly. She will lay out that without her, Jamie Lynn would have no career. The sisters' relationship came under scrutiny last year as the Lucky songstress, I'm suspecting that's Britney Spears, sought to end the conservatorship she'd been under for 13 years. During her headline-making testimony in June 2021, Britney said she wanted to sue her family without specifying which members she meant. Later that year, Jamie Lynn, 30, 10 years younger, announced her plans to publish a memoir titled Things I Should Have Said. When the book debuted in January, her older sister didn't hide her feelings about its contents. Congrats, bestseller. I'm not surprised at all. That's a thumbs down. I don't know what that means. The nerve of you to sell a book now and talk ST, but you're FK lying, she wrote via Instagram after the book hit the New York Times bestseller list. I wish you would take a lie detector test so all these masses of people see you're lying through your teeth about me. Now, I don't know what the book was about. It's already come out. After the Sweet Magnolias star promoted the book on the Call Me Daddy podcast in January, Britney sent her a cease and desist letter. Although Britney has not read and does not intend to read your book, she and millions of her fans were shocked to see how you have exploited her for monetary gain. Matthew Rosengart, I don't know, what is that? Crossroads actress's lawyer wrote in the letter, she will not tolerate it, nor should she. Although Britney has not read and does not intend to read your book. Britney inked her book deal after Things I Should Have Said debuted? I don't know. But the insider noticed that the Grammy winner's decision to write a tell-all had nothing to do with Jamie Lynn's memoir. The former X Factor judge first hinted at her book plans in October 2021 after the Zoe. Look at them just throwing in all these things. I'm feeling like this might be an advertisement for Britney Spears. I'm just saying. After the Zoe 101 alum announced her own, I'm thinking of releasing a book next year, but I'm having issues coming up with the title, so maybe my fans could help. Earlier this year, Britney teased fans again with an Instagram photo of a typewriter. Really? Last month, Us confirmed that the Louisiana native signed a multi-million-dollar book contract with Simon & Schuster. The memoir does not yet have a title or release date. Boy, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm better off for having read that. I'll be honest with you. That didn't help me. This was something that came up. I don't know what this means, but I wanted to go over it. I saw Ricady talking about it yesterday. I figured that'd be good enough reason to talk about it. It says, PSA, it's time to cancel your Funimation account. Their entire library is migrating over to Crunchyroll. It says, if you're a current user of the anime streaming service Funimation, I'm not, didn't even know there was such a thing, you should go ahead and cancel your subscription. That's because the anime streaming service will move its entire library, including shows, movies, and previously exclusive upcoming simulcast premieres, onto Crunchyroll. I don't know what that means. Meaning viewers, this is what it means. Viewers will be able to get access to both libraries with just a single subscription. Crunchyroll announced that it would be getting all of Funimation's content on Tuesday. The news follows the acquisition of Crunchyroll by Sony Pictures Entertainment from AT&T and Warner Media for $1.75 billion. According to Crunchyroll, 80% of Funimation and Wakanim series will be on Crunchyroll. They didn't even spell it right. By the end of the March 2020, and all the new series from the upcoming official spring 2020 season will stream exclusively on Crunchyroll moving forward. An official FAQ from the company recommends canceling your Funimation account if you have a subscription to both. If you just have a Funimation subscription, it's still a good idea to eventually move over to Crunchyroll. That way you'll be able to see new shows coming out that were previously exclusive to Funimation, in addition to unlocking Crunchyroll's offerings. At the time of publication, a standard Crunchyroll account costs $7.99 per month, the same price as Funimation Premium Plus plan. The standard Crunchyroll tier offers unlimited access to Crunchyroll library, no ads, and streaming on one device at a time. So, I don't know anything about this. Apparently Funimation was, this is what I've learned, I think. Funimation was a streaming service for anime. They are going away. I don't know who owned Funimation. All I know is that Crunchyroll, was bought out by Sony. And now that's where you have to go. I did my best. Look, I'm not up to date on this. I don't know what shows are on Crunchyroll or Funimation, but anyway, it was a big deal. It was a big deal because in Google search it had 50,000 searches, more than normal. There, I did it. Let's go look at houses. Ever been to Durham, North Carolina? I don't think I have. But, they're on the list, and I figured I'd take a look at some of the houses now. It looks better than some of the other places. So this is the most expensive home currently for sale that's listed on Realtor.com, and it's taking a long time. I don't know, we got slow internet today? Okay, fine. It's they're asking $6.1 million, 5 bedrooms, 6.5 baths, 15,675 square feet on a 12.5 acre lot. Been on the market for 546 days. Built in 2006 with a 4-car garage. Property history. 2020. That's all. Started at 7.5 million. Property details. I like this. Let's read the property details, not too long. Said it makes manicured gardens and impeccable landscaping in the hills of Rosemont, one of North Carolina's most prestigious gated enclaves. This spectacular country manor house stands out among the Triangle's most impressive residences. A home perfect for both family and entertaining, it offers an indoor-outdoor lifestyle, as it exudes an ambience of a relaxed sophistication. It has been recently transformed by the skilled craftspeople and acclaimed Rufty homes, utilizing the finest materials and custom elements. 50 pictures, $6.1 million. Now, they're redoing this house after it was built in 2006. It's just amazing to me that it's that. That's a very nice entrance. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I mean, beautiful kitchen. Fireplace. Kind of an open space. I don't know what these are called, but I need to find out because I'm seeing them more and more often, and I just don't know. They're not. It's not a bar. Yeah, but there's a sink and there's like coffee stuff. Nice, good sized rooms. There's the bathroom. Shower. Big. This shower here doesn't make a lot of sense. Is this all there is? Shouldn't there be a shower head somewhere else? Closet. I mean, the closet the size of my bedroom. Look at that. Interesting doorway there. Now I think we're in the basement. I don't know where this is. But, we're 31 pictures in, and they were talking about a couple of things. One, we have no features in the house, in the listing. So I have no idea what, I'm supposed to be looking at. And then number two, it talks about indoor and outdoor space, and I haven't seen anything that's outdoor, except for the first picture. There we go. Is this the outdoor space? Yeah, I mean, here's the pool. But it's not outdoors. There's your outdoor space. I suspect this is an outdoor space because these can all be like moved. I mean, I think you would. I mean, I think if you're hyping that, I think you need it. It's a very interesting property. I don't know. I'll let you figure out, if you think it's interesting or not, if that's something. Here we go. 3.1 million, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 5,800 square feet on a 6-acre lot. I like these properties that are kind of estates, what I would say. 99 days in the market, built in 2008 with a 3-car garage. Property history, just listed in 2021. Okay, no issues there. Property details, again, like Durham, North Carolina, they don't write 7 pages in their descriptions. Magnificent 6.3-acre estate, nestled in the prestigious hills of Rosemont, a gated community just 3 miles from the future Apple campus, featuring a Carrara marble foyer, the finest granite, a chef's kitchen, and exquisite chandeliers. Curl up with a book in the library, the study, or in front of 1 or 4 fireplaces. Billiards room with bar, elegant theater, and home gym. Outdoor living at its finest, with a phantom screen porch, bluestone patio, and fireplace. Greenways, shopping, restaurants, and airport minutes away. I don't know if that other one was in the hills of Rosemont as well. I think it was. And you walk in, it's nice. House looks good. And they say, like, in the listing, it says there's fireplaces. Oh, look, there's a fireplace. See, like it makes sense. Nice kitchen. No argument there. What is it, 6 acres? I mean, it's a beautiful home. There's another fireplace. See how they put that in your mind to start? And then now when you're looking through the pictures, like, oh, yeah, there's the fireplace. I like it. That's a nice house. A little pricey for me, square footage wise. But I mean, you get the 6 acres, so. Nice billiards room. Look, there's someone with a hand. A little exercise room. Although that, like, it seems like it's upstairs. I wouldn't want to carry the weights and stuff up there. There's your little screened-in porch. Outdoor space with some. I mean, this is great. This is a great listing. They did a fine job. They have a Tesla. There's a dog. Yeah, should you pet? I did a video once. Should you put your pet in your listing photos? I wasn't thinking about it on the outside. I don't know if that's a real dog, by the way, but I was talking about the inside. There's your nice floor plan. That's a good listing. They did a good job on that one. I hope it sells for them. Just checking, just to make sure that I'm not running afoul of any chats that come through. One final house, 2.795 million. Different zip code, 27705. 37 acre lot. I suspect that's where you're at, but it says 11 bedrooms, 5 baths. Let's take a look. It doesn't look like the house that I'm thinking. Let's see the description. I bet that'll tell me a lot. Lee Acres Mysticals, lush green, quiet seclusion by lake, 37 acres of land with 4 cabins and a farmhouse, supporting a solid rental history since 1945. Farmhouse is unfinished second floor. Farm dates dates to the 1700s. Structures built about 1920 create a farm, nursery, horse farm, retreat, your home, and small development. Located just northwest of Durham and south of Hillsborough in Orange County next to Eno River Parkland. 5 dwellings detailed in documents. No appointment. $1,000 trespassing fine. I don't know what that means. I don't know if people are just going there. I don't know. 186 days on the market. I don't know. This is cool. So let's just see. You got this house. Got a beautiful lake. I would like to see all the structures. This is just me. Is that a different structure? I don't know. Like, is that that looks like a garage, but did they make that into a different structure is the question. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And, you know, oh, gorgeous. You know, it's not going to look good inside. And that's okay. But this is a wonderful, wonderful piece of property. And it's not luxury, but maybe someday it will be. Durham treated us pretty well. All right, with that, I'm going to head out. I got things to do. You've got things to do. We're just looking at property today. That's what we did. We talked about some things. I'm going to have to change up the titles quite a bit on the YouTube. But we'll get through it, and we'll talk about the things I was going to talk about tomorrow. So with that, thank you for watching.